I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but here I am. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm looking for advice, validation, or just a place to get this all off my chest. I'm a 20-year-old guy, and this story is about my best friend, let's call her Tasha. We grew up together. Like, literally, same neighborhood, same schools, even the same after-school clubs. She was like a sister to me, but at the same time, she was my ride or die. We'd call each other at 2 a.m. just to rant about life, split fries at McDonald's when neither of us had money, and cover for each other when our parents were strict. I always thought nothing could break our friendship. But then he came into the picture. The beginning of the mess. Tasha had just started a new job at a local auto parts warehouse. It wasn't her dream job, but it paid better than waitressing, and she was excited about having her own money. I remember her first week. She called me like 3 times talking about her coworkers, how weird some of them were, and how she thought one guy was different. That different guy turned out to be Marcus. Marcus was 29, which already made him way older than us. He wasn't just older, though, he was married. Not only married, but married with kids. And not just one kid, not even 2. Marcus had 6 kids, with 5 different women, scattered all around town. His reputation wasn't exactly hidden, either. Everyone knew he had a criminal past, petty theft, some fights, and he even did a short stint in jail for fraud. Basically, he was a walking red flag. When Tasha first told me she had a crush on him, I thought she was joking. I literally laughed and said, "Come on, Tash, out of all the guys in this city, you're gonna pick the one with the most baggage." But she wasn't laughing. She was dead serious. Within 2 weeks, she told me they'd slept together. The spiral. I wanted to be supportive, but it was hard. I couldn't wrap my head around why she was messing around with a married man. Every time I brought it up, she'd brush me off with lines like, "His wife doesn't even treat him right. He told me I'm the only one who understands him. You don't get it, he's not like that with me." I kept trying to be that voice of reason. I'd say things like, "Tash, you're only 18. He's almost 30. He's married. He's got kids. This can only end badly." But the more I pushed, the more defensive she got. Then came the bombshell. 3 months into their fling, she told me she was pregnant. I swear I felt my heart drop when she said it. It wasn't excitement in her voice. It wasn't fear either. It was pride. Like she had just won some kind of twisted competition. She literally said, "Now he can't ignore me. I'll always be part of his life." I tried to keep my cool, but inside I was screaming. That's when Tasha really started changing. She began bragging to anyone who would listen. At first it was just me, but
then it was our other friends, then people at work, and eventually the entire city seemed to know. She would strut into the diner we usually hung out at, hold her stomach, and smirk like she was carrying royalty inside her. People started talking. A lot. Suddenly, it wasn't just her reputation on the line. Because I was her closest friend, people started lumping me in with her mess. I'd hear whispers like, "Oh, that's Tasha's boy. He probably knew the whole time." Or, "They're all messy like that." And I'll admit, I started pulling back. Not because I didn't care about her, but because she was changing into someone I didn't recognize. Someone who wanted drama. Someone who thrived off attention. Someone who thought sleeping with a married man and having his child was an accomplishment. The breaking point. The real breaking point came at a party. One of our mutual friends was throwing a birthday get-together. I almost didn't go because I knew Tasha would be there, but I didn't want to hide forever. Sure enough, she showed up, with Marcus. Yes. She walked in holding hands with a married man like she owned the place. People went silent. You could feel the tension in the air. Marcus looked uncomfortable, but Tasha looked like she was on top of the world. And then she started bragging. Out loud. She actually said, in front of everyone, I won. He chose me. His wife is nothing compared to me. I wanted to disappear. When I tried to pull her aside and tell her to chill, she snapped at me. Loud enough for everyone to hear, she said, "You're just jealous, because nobody wants you. At least I got a man to give me a baby." That cut deep. I didn't even argue back. I just left. That night, I decided I couldn't be her friend anymore. Not when she was dragging me into drama I didn't ask for, humiliating me in public, and making choices that were going to ruin her life. The fallout. After I cut her off, things got ugly. She started telling people I betrayed her. She made up lies, saying I was secretly in love with her and couldn't handle that she chose Marcus. None of it was true, but gossip spreads fast. I lost a few friends over it. People didn't want to be caught in the middle, so they distanced themselves from me too. For a while, I was angry. I hated her for ruining not just her life, but mine too. But then, life started catching up to her. Reality hits. Marcus didn't leave his wife. He didn't leave his other kids. And he didn't suddenly become a responsible father-to-be just because Tasha was pregnant. Instead, he started ghosting her. Missing doctor appointments. Making excuses. Eventually, she found out he was cheating on her, with yet another woman. Her bragging stopped. The glow she used to carry was gone. By the time she gave birth, she looked exhausted, broken, and alone. I didn't reach out. Not at first. But one day, about 6 months after her baby was born, I ran into her at the grocery store. She was pushing a stroller, her hair was a mess, and her eyes had dark circles. She looked at me like she wanted to cry. I wanted to walk past. I wanted to keep holding on to that anger. But instead, I stopped. We ended up sitting in my car for almost 2 hours, just talking. She admitted everything. That she had been wrong. That she thought having Marcus's baby would make her special. That she thought she was proving something to the world. Instead, she was left with a child to raise mostly alone, no real support, and a reputation she couldn't shake. She apologized. For the party. For the lies. For everything. And I forgave her. Not because I forgot what she did, but because I could see she had learned her lesson the hard way. We're not the same as we used to be. Our friendship isn't what it once was. There's too much history now. Too much pain. But we talk sometimes. I check on her. I check on her kid. She's not bragging anymore. She's humbled, more mature, and focused on being a mom. And me? I learned that sometimes, the people we love the most will hurt us the worst. Sometimes, we have to walk away for them to see the truth. I don't regret cutting her off when I did. But I also don't regret letting her back in a smaller way. Because in the end, friendship isn't always about being there during the highs. Sometimes, it's about watching someone fall, letting them hit the ground, and then helping them back up once they finally see the damage for themselves. If you take anything from my story, let it be this: you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Tasha made her choices, and she faced her consequences. I couldn't save her from them, and I shouldn't have tried. But I also learned that forgiveness doesn't mean going back to how things were. It just means letting go of the bitterness, so both of you can move forward. And that's what we're doing. Slowly. Carefully. With boundaries. Because sometimes, the only way to rebuild is to accept that it'll never be the same, and that's okay.